Hi, everyone, and welcome to the next series of the Arventa podcast on how to run your business smart. Today we have Colm, and I'm really delighted to have Colm on the podcast. He has a very interesting business, and I'm really excited to have a chat with him. So, Colm, first of all, tell us what you do, what your business does.
Hi, Daria. My name's Colin McGuire. The business is Tabulator. It's designed to help health and safety managers, operations managers, logistics managers in terms of simplifying their business, de-risking the business, and moving away from spreadsheet chaos. I find that in the most engineering and manufacturing companies that I talk to, those roles are managing everything from the assets to the training to the health and safety, all on spreadsheets. So Tabulator is designed to help people move away from using spreadsheets for their business and move into a system which is online, is easily manageable by a central source for all the code to make sure there's no issues there. All changes are made in a structured kind of manner so that there's no failures of the system further on down the line. It's easy to share documents. It's easy for everybody in the business to access the system with just the level of access that their role requires. Yeah, and it can save a lot of time and effort, particularly when it comes to audits or when there's issues. My clients use the system, when they have maybe there's been an accident, then the employees fill out data on the system, alerts go out, people know that something has happened immediately and are able to follow up with it, and they have the details when it comes to discussing that with their own clients or with the regulatory authorities.
This is such a useful tool. And you mentioned spreadsheets. So I'm extremely curious now because you are helping them so much with getting away from the spreadsheets that don't talk, they don't give you alerts, that don't communicate with others who are using the spreadsheets, and you don't know where the updates and when the updates happened and all this stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Curiosity question here comes up straight away. I know that you're for a while in the business and you're doing that for 6 years, you mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, so how difficult or easy was that to engage with your first customers and tell them, guys, I'm making your life easier?
Yeah, that's a great question, and there's always a certain amount of I wouldn't say resistance, but people are a little bit worried to let go of the spreadsheets. It's something they know well. It might be imperfect, but it's the thing that they know. The beauty is that uh, when I was building the system, I was able to put in sample data to show them how easy it would be for them to manage that. And day by day, I work very closely with them to make sure that we transfer the data over from their existing spreadsheets into the system. So that's another part of what I do is rather than they have to start from scratch and enter all that data themselves. No, I can usually take their imperfect spreadsheets, translate that into the system, upload the data for them so that they can get started straight away. And when we then compare what was in the spreadsheet to what we have now, we can do a sample, we can see it's all a perfect match that, increases the confidence. And then day on day, as they use the system, they know that all the changes are tracked and auditable so that yeah, they can now see if a number is wrong, who changed that number, when they changed it. So it gives them an audit trail that a spreadsheet typically can't do for you. So as time goes on and they start to see the benefits of being in a system where you've got that audit trail, did this email get sent out? Did that reminder go? Yes, it did. Here's all the data. I can see that the person clicked on the email. So my clients are finding that very useful. And, once you've moved away, it's impossible to go back because not impossible. It's they don't want to go back because then they're moving back into a system where they don't have the audit trails, they don't have the automated follow-ups, and they don't have the security that things are working better for them.
I find your product absolutely fantastic. So the more you change the life habits towards the better and you're open-minded, then you have this opportunity to get a lot of efficiency in your work day to day and in your business as well. And Con, question to you, and how do you manage your business? How do you run your business? Do you run it on spreadsheets, or you're also using some tools that might be good to know for others who are listening to the podcast?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I put as much of my own business into Tabulator as I can. I have an accounts package that's separate from that. I haven't linked the two up yet. The accounts package that I use, I started 13 years ago with my accountant. It works very well with us. It's going to transition into the new UK making tax digital approach. So to be honest, I haven't dared to touch that. It works really well. So we keep that in there. But other parts of the business, so I've built my own CRM system, so CRM system for myself, so all of my own leads and opportunities go into that. Then I can demonstrate easily to clients who are interested in the CRM portion of it where everything works. I use it for my weekly to-dos because again, that's a feature that's built into the software itself. So as far as it's possible, I build the software in. Sometimes I'll start with a spreadsheet with some data just to figure out what it needs to look like. But then in terms of working with that data in the long term, I'll either insert it into a module that exists or I'll build a new module entirely and start working with that data inside of Tabulator.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing. Question, maybe tricky, maybe not. Many businesses start this digitization process. If before it was, I moved from paperwork to digital tools, today everybody's trying to engage with the artificial intelligence and introduce agents in the processes and things like that. Do you do anything for your internal business or for Tabulator?
Yeah, so AI is very much a part of our web application development piece. It has a very strong ability to write the code in just the right way. Obviously, then we have quality control once the code's been written to test it and make sure that it is properly performing. But yeah, we certainly use AI internally. We've also built AI into the system. So I've got a couple of modules that are using AI. For example, the CRM system, you can take a picture of either live, take a picture of a business card or a business card that you took a picture of a number of months ago. You can upload that to the system. AI will pick out the name, the company, the position, the phone number, the email address, and then directly insert that into the CRM system for you. So that it's really quick for people to use that portion of it. Another area where we've implemented AI directly into Tabulator is a process that I call read and test. So that's where you have a document that's really going to be very important to the business. You need your employees all to read it, understand it, sign for it, but not only that, we then test them. So we give them a multiple choice test to make sure they've understood the content appropriately. And it's difficult for people to create multiple choice tests. You know, it requires effort and thought. So we designed the AI so that you can simply drop in the text or link to the file that you've uploaded, and AI will read the file or the text. And then you just say, I want, 6 multiple choice questions with 3 possible answers, one of which is correct. And the system will create those questions for you and randomly assign, the correct answers. Maybe sometimes it's A, sometimes it's B, sometimes it's C. So it spreads that around for you. So it makes it very easy for the admin users to simply take that document, upload it, and have the multiple choice questions come out. You can then review them as a human being, make sure they're still appropriate. Then you can hit submit, and it's all automatically saved into the database. Not only that, in the background, the AI will tell you the source of the correct answer in the document that you've given it. So if the document you've given it is correct, then you've no problems. But if there's mistakes in the document, then AI won't fix them. It will simply use them and bring them back to you. But if the document initially is accurate, then AI will very clearly say, if this is the correct answer, here's why, here's the exact point in the document that refers to this particular answer. we found it to be incredibly accurate and a huge time saving for our clients.
I like on the way you described how you implemented AI in your solution, and it's a strategic approach. It's not the use of AI for the sake of using AI because everybody is doing that. If you would now give the advice to people who are listening to the podcast or watching the podcast, what would be your main criteria from the strategic point of view of implementing AI in any capacity given in the business?
Yeah, I think that's another great question. It's not a one size fits all. I think you have to approach it carefully. You have to make a decision on, where am I going to get the best value from AI? It's great for helping reduce the time spent on repetitive tasks. It's great in, summarizing documents for you. It's great at doing a lot of those things. And with the proper kind of teaching, you can help it to codify your thought processes in certain situations and then automate those decision-making points for you. But again, you have to be very rigorous in your testing to make sure that, you're not going to have the car turning left when it's supposed to be turning right and those kind of things. But I think if you roll them out in small pieces and carefully with the right kind of testing and quality control, then you'll definitely find advantages to the business. But I'd say take it slowly, take it small, test it thoroughly, and then gradually roll out. And what you'll find is that as you roll out each piece, there will be a time saving. So that'll free up some resources to do other things that can then snowball into more and more resources being available to really test how the AI is performing until you get to a point when you think you've got it optimized, and that's it. You can either sit back and relax at that point, or you can really go through more repetitions of process improvement and optimization there. But I think the key thing for AI is that what it does is it frees up people to do what they do best, which is to be creative or to, be out talking to other people and making things better that can't be done by computers. So scaffolding or fixing a machine or making a product that you have to do by hand or that requires a lot of human input that just can't be mechanized. And I'm glad to say I think there's still quite a lot of things out there that do require that human input. I don't think we're at the day of the computers running the planet yet. They can't plant seeds for us yet. They can't build a scaffolding. They can't, do a bunch of stuff that you really need humans for at this stage, which I'm very happy about. It has to be said. I think AI definitely has its place. I think as a species, we'll have to evolve and see how we can work with it. And like any other tool, it can be used in a positive way or a negative way. It's no different from an axe or a saw or a knife. They can be very useful tools, but also they can be abused if that's what you're minded to do.
This is very valuable and very insightful, and thank you so much for that. Another question on this note. So I have come across the situation that many small businesses across Ireland and Northern Ireland, they are trying to get visible in front of their target audience using social media. Do you normally do social media? And if you do, what kind of strategies do you normally use for your business there?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, the social media I use the most would be LinkedIn. So I reach out and connect with my ideal customer quite actively on LinkedIn. I find it really easy to find them, mainly by job title, so I can connect that way. Then what I do is I post content that I think will be interesting to those people. So try to be as helpful and as formative as possible rather than being, really salesy. So you've got to give something, you've got to help people in order to to get something back from that. I think you can't just do sales pitch after sales pitch, because people very quickly switch off from that. They have to see some value in what you're putting out there. And once they see some value, they'll take notice, they'll read more, and over time they'll start to interact with you. So posting useful information, every now and again I sprinkle in a call to action. Maybe it's to download a 10-point PDF, and then I track that within the system. So that normally the folks would submit a name and email address in order to get access to that, so I can then send it on by email, and then you can follow up with people because they've engaged with you. Then it's a much warmer situation than you would be if you're going completely from cold. But yeah, LinkedIn would be my main one. I think it would be useful for brand awareness to get onto Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and they're free resources, so there can't be any harm in using them. And the more eyeballs that you have on your business, the better. But I have to confess, it's not something that I've deeply got into yet, but I'd like to, for sure.
Yeah, so thank you so much. It's really interesting that obviously, like, if your target audience is on LinkedIn, then you need to be there. But when you are building the trust, and I like the way you describe the way you're building the trust, which could be a good tip for other businesses out there, you still need to build the trust on other social media, because once people see you and you all the time appear to be salesy, that's one thing. But if they see you and you try literally to help them, that will create a little bit more of the interaction with your digital twin, and will help them to understand more what your business does. And
that's it.
I have just last question.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give the small business owners across Ireland today that helped you, that somebody helped you, gave it to you, and you used it and it helped, and it might help others?
Yeah, I think that's also a great question. I've been, working for myself for a number of years now, and during my life, I've worked for myself in a number of different areas. I think it's important to find a network of people that you can go and speak to, not necessarily potential customers, but other business owners, where you can meet them in a relaxed atmosphere. You can swap stories, you can support each other, you can ask questions. I'm currently in one right now. It's the Growth Network, which is run by Martin Murtaugh. I found that the best networking group that I've come across. It's very friendly, it's very open, very informative, and very supportive. And we're able to give each other help and advice on any topic that you can think of. One of the people on the group asked for advice on which billboard in which location they thought they should put some advertising on. Another person's maybe looking for an accountant or a plumber, or how do I get the best headshots done? So, a real variety of questions, and just having that touch point with other humans is I think really vital, because I myself will be quite guilty of I'll kind of lock myself in my office and I'll work and produce things, and it feels great. But you do need to get out and speak to other people and get the support, especially when things feel tough. You need other people around you at that point. I think the other advice, I saw a post on it on LinkedIn about it's not the most it's not the cleverest or the most innovative businesses that succeed. It's the ones with most persistence. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep showing up for yourself, for your business every day. And in order to do that, I think you have to pace yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Don't go crazy with long hours in the day. It's not going to work for you. You need to look after your health and make sure that you're in the best shape to turn up for work, both physically and mentally. And I think that's where the support networks can really help you. They help you get out of your own head physically into a different space, and Yeah, it's really important. I think I have the dogs with me here. You can probably hear them scrabbling
Yep.
about. And I really look forward to my dog walks each day just to get out and into the fresh air and change my focus from 12 inches away to the fields and the streets and the cars and the people around me. So yeah, I think it's really important to get out and about as well.
Absolutely stunning advice. And I want to add just a bit of my 5 cents to this, that meeting other people is extremely important. And sometimes it's like for the reasons that you mentioned, but for me, it also could be the reason that you might be talking to a different person on a completely random conversation, and then some genius idea may sparkle just because they said
Absolutely.
something or
That's
something was going on in the chat. So it's extremely helpful. Fully
that's
understand.
exactly what happens. And I think um I'm not sure what the saying is, but opportunities will pop up, and if you're out there looking for them, then they'll pop up for you. If you're not looking for them, you'll easily miss them. And the only way to find those other opportunities is to be speaking to other people. And you never know, you know, you can't go into these things thinking, right, I've got to find new clients. It's not about that. It's just finding out about the other person, what they do, and how you can help them. So you just ask them, what do you do, and how can I help you? And they ask you the same questions, and then over time, you build a bond of trust, and they feel able to recommend you to other people or introduce you to other people in their network who may or may not be clients, but who could be, the next stepping stone in an intricate puzzle that leads you to somewhere that you didn't expect it would, but which is really good for you.
Agree with you 100% there. And it's not about selling something, it's about how you can help other people.
Yeah,
And there are so many people that are willing to help you. They just need you to ask about this.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Colin, for being on this
You're
podcast
welcome, Daria.
for Arventa. And this is Colin with Tabulator. Really great business, interesting insights, and hope everybody enjoyed this podcast. Thank you, Colin.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye for now.